Pleased to be joined by Texas running back Bijan Robinson. Bijan, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm awesome. I'm awesome. I'm blessed. Just blessed to be back here. To get to talk to you again and just to be with my teammates and have a great experience. For another year.
There's a lot to discuss in as far as Texas in 2022, and I'm bullish about what y'all are capable of this season. But my first question has to be: have you got that V12, 769 horsepower, $560,000 Lamborghini Aventador out on the road at all?
Yeah, I have. It's actually the SUV, the
right
Urus. Yeah. I'm not that much of a flashy guy, so I try to go a little less flashy. But yeah, I have it. It's been awesome. I kind of take it out on weekends. But it's been great to have a car like that.
Nah, man, as a car enthusiast, right?
Yep.
That was one of the things that lit me up. But it also has tremendous heritage, having a lot to do with bullfighting and a lot to do with matadors. And I was thinking about how that translates to football, in that it's really about art.
Yep.
It's really about physicality. How do you see yourself now going into 2022 as a tailback? Are you an artist? Are you just out here playing football? How do you view?
Yeah. I believe that we all are artists when we play the sport of football. You can't just go out there and just play the game. You got to understand the game. You got to, kind of be one with the game, use the gifts that God has given you out there. But, I think that we all have a form of art, especially for a running back. I got to create different situations. I got to, create different scenarios to break tackles on defenders, to see angles on defenders. So I'm always, finding a way to always make people miss, be ahead of the game, understand, what the defense I'm playing against, who I'm playing against on that defense. So I think it's a form of art, being creative in all aspects of the game.
Part of being an artist is taking care of your tools, taking care of yourself.
Yes, sir.
You healthy? How you feel?
Yeah, I feel great. This offseason's been amazing. Now that we are more, acclimated with our surroundings and who we are as a team, and even just as strength coaches, understanding the players now and seeing what we need to do to, overcome those humps that we needed from a year ago to now this year. We're all just getting bigger, faster, stronger. But the most important, thing that is I'm becoming a better leader, for the team. This is my third year going into college football, and, I'm just more confident than I ever have been. So, I'm just ready to go, especially from with the summer that we've had and that we're having. I just can't wait for the season to get around.
A confident Bijan Robinson just absolutely terrify me. Especially coming off of 1,100 yards last year, missing the last 2 games.
Yeah.
Tremendous highs last year, tremendous lows last year.
Yes, sir.
Looking at this offense, at least on paper, and what y'all have been able to add in the form of a Jaleel Billingsley, right, and then Isaiah Nayer, you're going to be back there with a new quarterback and hopefully a pretty doggone good one.
Yeah.
Do you ever look at that offense and say, we should put 50 up on everybody we play?
Yeah, it just goes back to how we work, in practice. We have, great players that's been added to this team. We have great players that's on this team right now, especially on the offense and even on the defense. But, we have a standard of how we practice now. And, when we go against the defense, they make us they try to make us to the best offense that we can be, and we try to make them the best defense that they can be. So, adding those new players and adding, that chemistry and what we have, right now, and, it builds fast because, we understand that we kind of have no choice. We just have to get in there, grind, work. And, Coach Sark has been on us about, doing the little things right. And when we do the little things right, then that's what sets us apart from, the rest of the pack. So I know that we're all just ready to play with each other. And, we're done seeing the things that are on paper. We just want to put it out and put it out in real life and in product. So, we're just ready to get out there and especially for me, being, the leader on the offense, I just want everybody to gel and be ready to go.
Last year, we talked a bit about the heritage of Texas running backs, right?
Yep.
With our Heisman Trophy winners, guys like Ricky Williams, guys like Earl Campbell, right? Now, I want to ask you about the guy that's going to be standing next to you most of the time. Quarterbacks, there are 3 that I understand vying for the job. I want to go through each one of them.
Mm-hmm.
We got to see a little bit of Hudson Card last year. How have you seen him grow up since?
Man, he just him having that experience of playing college football last year, and even with him, having to deal with the highs and the lows, it taught him a lot just about himself, about him being a leader, about him, taking control of an offense. Because, I even told him, I was like, this is the year where, you elevate your game. We all see what you can do. We all know you're talented, but, you just need that little piece to just get over that hump and become great, the great player that you are, so the country can see. And, he's taken that and, he's ran with it. He's been a great, focal piece. He's becoming a leader. He's controlling the offense. He knows what he needs to do. So, it's been good to see him grow a lot, this offseason.
He also had some new entrants, if we say, into the QB room.
Yes, sir.
A couple, I think I know about Malik Murphy. We'll find out what other people know about Malik Murphy.
Yeah.
That dude's all tooly. What have you seen from him, and what kind of a person is he? Yeah,
well, Malik's a great person. Mm-hmm. He's a sponge. He just wants to learn. He's been out there. He's obviously talented. We see the talent and what he can do. He has an exceptional arm. We play 7-on-7 a lot, and dude just crushing it. And I'm like, man, like this dude is really like understanding as time goes along, the game of college football. But it's been fun to watch him grow as a player. He's a young player, so there's those young player, gaps that we all got to get through. But he's a great, tool for that quarterback room, because he brings, the size, the arm talent. He's a great kid, and that's just what they all need around them for that chemistry and that culture that they're setting in that room.
Did you know who Quinn Ewers was when he was in high school? Did that name mean anything to you?
I didn't know who he was in high school. Mm-hmm. I knew who he was when he got to Ohio State, though. When that all happened, when he was there.
Well, I mean, reclassified, so you get there, spent the year there, and chose to transfer to the place many people thought he should have been in the first place. Right? He understands what it means to just be named a quarterback at the University of Texas. That in and of itself is an achievement. How has he taken on the responsibility of being a quarterback at the University of Texas?
Yeah, I mean, even with him, he's taking it on really well. I know that there's a lot of hype around him, a lot of hype around his name, but, he's not the type to really, get into that hype. We talk a lot, and he doesn't care about what people have to say. He doesn't care about, the high things that people might have to say, or the lows that people might. He just wants to go in there and work. And he's really, gelled with the team, ever since he's been here. He hasn't, been a bad addition at all. He's been a great addition to the offense, to the team. We're all just close and joke around. I mean, he's right across from me in the locker room, so I see how he is every day. He just goes in there, works, and he leaves. I mean, it's just what we all do. And when we're off the field, we see each other. We just love on each other. But he's taking it in a good stride, and he understands what he needs to do to be a great quarterback here.
Going into 2022, one of the marquee games on the entire college football schedule, September 10th, big noon. You get Alabama on the 40 acres. How excited are you to play against that team?
Yeah, man, I'm excited. Obviously I'm excited. But we got that. We got game one first. We can't overlook. Louisiana, Monroe. They're. I've seen some times where teams had really big games week 2 and then mess around and lose week 1. And I got to make sure we ain't doing that for sure. But with them coming in, that's obviously a really big game, and it's an opportunity to show what you can do as a team and what you've been working for. So when they come in, we're gonna take them, as every team that we're gonna take the whole year. We're gonna prepare for them just how we're preparing for Louisiana, Monroe. It doesn't matter who we're playing against, but man, I'm really excited to play them and get to show what we can do against them.
Is there a little bit of added oomph knowing that Coach Sark came from Alabama and took the job? Yeah.
I mean, but that's just football. That's the nature of football. When you have a coach that comes from another place, the stakes are higher. The game becomes, more important because you want to do it for your coach. You want to do it for your city. You want to do it for, everybody around you. For my case, I do it for God, everything. So, there's just a lot of things that play into games like that. Even when we play OU, those type of games, always rise to the occasion. So man, I'm excited to get out there and to play them and to play a defense like them as well. You know, they got a lot of great players on defense, so just to show that talent against them, be fun to watch and to play against.
I think it's fair to say you're centerpiece of the offense, and it proven to be so the last couple of seasons. Coming in once again as a Heisman contender, how are you dealing with the pressure just a little bit differently than you might have in the past?
Yeah, this year for me, seeing everything and experiencing things, pressure to me, I don't even worry about it. Pressure, it's a part of the game. But I think that when you're blessed to do something and when you're given a gift to do something, that there is no pressure because you're doing it for a higher being. And I just know that, when we're out on that field, there's always the media, the noise behind the games, the hype behind the games, but that's just, that just comes with it. So for me, I just look at it as going out there and performing to the best of my ability. And, I don't want, to get distracted by anything. And I just keep my head focused, keep my head right where it needs to be because, when I'm preparing for a team, that's what I want to be doing. I don't want to be worrying about, other stuff. So, I'm ready to go in. I'm ready just to get after it.
Well, I'm excited to see you play in 2022. Bijan Robinson, thank you so much for taking the time, sir.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I'm pleased to be joined by Texas linebacker Demarvion Overshown. Demarvion, how you doing, man?
I'm doing real good. I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be here. Another opportunity to play football here in a couple months. So couldn't be more excited.
With 38 games played, 22 career starts, this being your 5th year, you've seen a little bit of everything at Texas. Do you feel like the old man on the defense?
I do. I tell people all the time, those my young bucks around me. So, being the old head in the locker room, I've seen a lot since coming 2018 and being here 2022. So going into my 5th year, I definitely seen a lot of the program changing ups, downs, and I'm glad I've been here. I came back for a 5th year to be that mentor to young guys, to know the ins and outs of what we got to do to be at this point and what's going to cause us, the little detail that's going to cause us to fall back or take a step back from where we're trying to go. So it's definitely a blessing to still be able to put the burnt orange on for a 5th year, because of COVID. If it wasn't because of COVID, then I'd be long gone. But it's definitely nice to be back. I love Austin. I love my Longhorn family, and, I wouldn't want to do it anywhere else.
Dog, you got the cowboy hat, you got the boots, right? I know you're from ARP, but it feels like it means something different for you to play football at the University of Texas. Explain to me why it was so important for you to play at Texas.
Growing up, my family was burnt orange. That's all I knew. Actually, after my Pee Wee football games when I was younger, it was straight home to my coach's man cave. It's Texas everywhere. We watching Texas football. Whether you're a Texas football fan or not, you're watching Texas football. But it happened that I bled burnt orange my whole life. So once I got the opportunity to come play at this university, it was sign me up. Where do I sign at? So, it's a blessing. And like I say, I will continue to, show love and take advantage of everything that they have to offer and they have given to me and my family. And I will never, ever take it for granted.
Coming off of last year, wasn't the best defense you've ever been a part of. Probably hurt just a little bit, some of the points you gave up, some of the yardage you gave up. What has Coach Gorkowski changed about this 2022 team that excites you?
Just making sure everybody's comfortable. You can't play with confidence if you're not comfortable in like the situations you've been put in. So making sure everybody's comfortable where they're at, making sure people is really dialing in to like the ins and out of like what you got to do. Just do your 111 is what I've always learned growing up. If everybody do their 111, then, we're that much better as a defense. And as we watch films from last year, we see that, like, just a small step to the left or a small step to the right, and that play is a no gain instead of like a 20-yard, 30-yard gain. So basically, just making sure everybody's dialed in, everybody. And like I said, going into year 2 of the same defense, it's going to change a lot. Because people more confidence, comfortable, what everybody's around you doing, where they're going to be at. So that's one thing I can say he's definitely pushed hard just in the spring, making sure everybody was comfortable with what they're doing.
So around about 2014, Oklahoma had a scout team that I thought was full of All-Americans and turned out to have some great players. Orlando Brown, Baker Mayfield, Mark Andrews, to name a few. I look at the offense, the first team offense that I just put on paper on a whiteboard at Texas, and I go, man, y'all going to get everything you need out of those dudes. Do you look at them and say, hey, man, our offense is going to put 50 up on people?
Every day, I go to the offense and, me being the person I talk trash just to, get them going because I know how good our offense is going to be and it's only going to make us better as a defense because we get to practice against guys like Bijan and Hudson and Quinn and Roshan in the receiver room that's stacked in the O-line that we got. So basically seeing them guys and knowing what them guys are capable of, it pushed me as a defensive leader to say, hey, everybody's talking about the offense, but we got some stuff going on this side of the ball too. So we definitely gonna do our part. But I definitely can't wait to see what our offense do this year.
So you've seen Bijan for a couple years now, both in practice and in games. What he does to other folks. You ever met him in the hole? Y'all had a meeting of the minds?
Oh, all the time. Just being the two guys. It's always fun to get that matchup with Bijan. Pass rush 1-on-1. Actually, I was his first workout partner when he first got here his freshman year. So, it was cool getting to know him and then just seeing him play football and then like this guy is real, real good. So going against him at practice, knowing iron sharpens iron, just making sure we at it every day just to make each other better.
One of the guys that was added to the defense out of the transfer portal, I'm a big fan of. Ryan Watts, coming from Ohio State. He's from Little Elm. Back where he belongs, according to some folks, not unlike one Quinn Ewers. What has Watts been able to show you in practice that has you feeling good about him?
His ability to learn on the go. He's quick. He's not afraid of contact at all. That's my favorite part of him because, I'm a contact guy. So him not being afraid of contact and he's willing to do whatever it takes to, like, make sure this team can be as good as we can. So just seeing him, extra work, doing workouts, racing, competing, I like that competitiveness in him, and that's definitely going to bring an edge to our defense.
One of the things that I don't think that gets discussed a lot is you were safety before they moved you to linebacker. So you got a little bit of pride as far as what the safeties do and what that secondary does. But what was that transition like for you, and how did you adapt to playing linebacker so well?
The coaches definitely made it easier for me. Coming in, that was my thing. Like, I did not want to play linebacker at all. Like, that was I'm gonna go if y'all try to move me to linebacker. But coming in that spring of 2020, I told them that I'm willing to do whatever it takes to make this team a better team, and that was me moving to linebacker. And ever since, just getting better each day. Working on my craft. Being healthy all this spring. Allowed me to make those strides, like working on pass rush, disinfecting the run and stuff like that, and taking on blocks and stuff like that. The little things that I really couldn't do coming from safety to linebacker, being injured, but now I would just be able to dig into that bag and, get better at the spot.
Well, I raised the issue because I thought with a change in defensive coordinator, maybe you go up to Coach Kulkowski and be like, yo, can I go play safety again? Because that's what I came here to do. But it sounds like you're having a good time.
I'm having a wonderful time. I like to be in the mix, and linebacker is never a play where you don't have something to do. So basically just being the quarterback of the defense, I love it. People looking at me for calls, people looking at me to go make the play. I love all that. So linebacker is definitely the spot for me. It took me a while to realize that, but once I finally got my head on straight, I realized that this position was going to be fit for Demarvion Overshown. Yeah.
My last one for you, and give this a little bit of thought if you want. Which one of the underclassmen has you the most excited on the defense?
You talking about freshmen, sophomore?
Freshman, sophomore, redshirt freshman, guys going into their second years.
Byron Murphy, that's one of my closest buddy as well, but just seeing him, like, he's a dog. And, like, I talk to Keandre Coburn all the time. He always talks about him too. Like, it's Byron Murphy is at the point where he can start. Whenever coach can make that call, like, he can start. So he's one of those guys, underclassmen, that's pushing the upperclassmen. Like, hey, bro, like I can take your spot anytime, you know. And we saw last year like what he's capable of doing, and then coming off his freshman year, he's only been hungrier and hungrier and hungrier. And I like that. And he's just a dog, and I love that.
I'm very excited to see what the defense looks like, particularly September 10th against Alabama. Good luck to you this season. Demarvion Overshown, thank you so much for taking the time, sir.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for watching this video. And remember, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any other videos on the #1 Ranked Show YouTube channel.